Hello there, my name is Zaeem Khalat. I'm from a Yazidi town which is called Baadre. Before 2014, the place that I'm sitting in right now, it was just a flat field. But after 2014, ISIS invaded one of the biggest Yazidi cities, which is called Sinjar. And unfortunately, thousands of people fled from the city and they ended up in temporary camps in Kurdistani areas. And the place that we are in right now, it's called Asyan Camp, which is a house to more than 3,000 families. And I also have a NGO, which is called Pait NGO. We focus on three main categories, which are IDPs, internally displaced people, environment, and education. So we do activities related to all of these categories. As far like we do those activities depending on our abilities. So our abilities really depend on our creative ideas and the donations that we get from other organizations and people. Back in 2014, before ISIS invaded Sinjar, like the place that I'm sitting in right now, it was just a flat field. And after the ISIS invasion, like of Sinjar, after they attacked Sinjar and controlled the whole city, this place, which is like, I don't know, it's a very big field, it became a big camp for more than 3,000 families. Not only in this place, but in many other areas in Kurdistan. Camps, they were supposed to be temporary, but now they're not. They have been staying in those camps for almost 9 years. I mean, having a camp like next to your hometown, it's kind of a painful thing because you pass through that camp every day and you see that people are still suffering in those tents, temporary tents, and you know it's a painful thing, to be honest, because you would thought you would think that only they will stay here for like maybe few months, but they stayed for more than 8 years, and this really affects us, all of us, everyone who goes through this camp. To be honest, the future of Yazidis who fled from Sinjar, I can say it's undefined until now, because till now the city is destroyed. There is no services there. No one can go back to there because there is no safety. You know, the bombs are still there. So many other things, and so many militias are controlling the area, so there's no safety. That's why thousands of people aren't able to go back to their camps. Of course, a camp which was supposed to be temporary would affect your life in many ways. For example, if you are a student and you are living in a big family, how would you find space to like get your studying done and get your jobs or reports done? So it really makes difficulties for a lot of people, especially students and elder people as well. Because sometimes, you know, in the camps, before a few years there was no, I can say, engine electricity. So there was just electricity for a few hours only in the day. Mm-hmm. And if you live in a plastic tent, that's so hard, you know, it's so hard. Unfortunately, in the camps, so many bad, I can say, incidents happened, and most of them are from fires because the tent is made of plastic, and if you just like leave a candle or something on in the tent for a few hours, and you are gone from there, for sure it's gonna burn. And when a tent burns, a lot of other tents next to it, they get burned because they're made of plastic and they're so close to each other. Like in the tents, people hear from each other what the other tent is saying. You know, they can hear from each other because they're so close together, you know, to each other. Usually in one tent, the amount of people range from 5 to 10, because usually in Middle East there are big families and they consist from 8 to 10 members. They're lacking from so many stuff. Like first of all, food supplies, lack of jobs. I mean, lack of electricity, lack of health services, lack of roads. Like if it's winter, you cannot walk because the roads are only made from the mud. They're all mud. You cannot walk. You know, I think the thing that is going to make the biggest impact is helping these people in the beginning, like let them to have a job or have something to live by it. And the second thing is letting them go back to their hometown. And the way that we can let them go back to their hometown is making a good place for them in their hometown, because it's all destroyed. Like we have to provide services for them.